Hello. Today I'm going to be making this video for my prison and by explaining to you all the different programs we have on different types of rehabilitation and improving inmate and prisoners' relationships with the prison staff, and how they can improve and better themselves whilst in prison so they can stop from reoffending. To start off with, I'm going to be talking about how maintaining a positive relationship between and how they can build upon that. Within prison, a lot of prisoners don't come from very stable home life or relationship life, so they don't have a very stable. They're not used to a positive, stable relationship. In prison, we like to put in a nice, positive relationship with guards, making sure that the prisoners they're there for doing everything they can to help the prisoners, and giving them that staple that they are reliable and can rely upon the prison for any needs that they do have within reason. The relationship, we also like to try and build those relationships up with the outside, with the general public, with our prisoners. We do this by having family members or family friends come in and visiting prisoners and making sure that they are able to see each other and build up the relationships with people that from their life when they were outside. Relationships and we also like to offer them probation, where we once they are out of prison, we give them a probation officer, which they have to check into every week or so, to make sure that they're bettering their lives and improving on their life as a whole, so that they can make sure they're not reoffending or going, say if they're addicted to drugs, see if they've gone back to it, and if not, they can the rehabilitation officer makes a judgment call on whether they need to go back or make sure that they stay on the straight and narrow. Relationships inside the custodial environment, including staff, volunteers, and other prisoners. What we like to do is make sure that the prisoners are treat members of staff with respect, and if not, we do identify on offending behaviour, which I will go into a bit later. But yeah, we like to give so that the guards offer the prisoners respect, and vice versa, so they expect respect from different people. The need for support for offenders' relationship problems with the outside and the custodial environment. Say if a prisoner has a drug addiction problem, within the prison will offer services of how to stop the addiction and how to help them kick the addiction. We also, once they're outside the prison, we can offer different types of classes, different support groups, and offer loads of different help in how to kick addictions that they may have. They also offer different classes in hobbies and in job opportunities. So say if they didn't have many qualifications within prison, they offer them a service where they are able to buy different qualifications, to earn different qualifications. The next thing I'm going to be talking about is the behaviour aspects and how we deal with offenders behaving difficultly, or how if they are performing brilliantly, and how we give them rewards and how we can punish them. I'm going to talk about ensuring offenders acknowledge their offending behaviour itself, if its effects on society, themselves, and family members. They do a thing where we offer a service where we send the prisoner to meet the people that he or she has hurt. Say if a person was serving time for theft, we would make sure that he goes to the family that he robbed and can see what his actions have as a repercussion. So to see like things you do affect other people. So it's sort of adding a face to the name. This is quite effective because then most of them are not aware of what their crimes have actually done to normal people. We also like to make sure that they keep in contact with their family, and their family understand what position they're in and how they can build up the relationship with their family. Assignment of accelerated risks of reoffending. What we like to do is evaluate our inmates. So we offer them with like psychological evaluations and emotional evaluations and like social evaluations to make sure that they are adequate to be let back into society again. So we offer loads of different help to how to deal with different problems that they may have, and like anger management might be quite a mental problem for a lot of people. So offer anger management classes to help them deal with that problem. The next thing is triggers and patterns of offending behaviour. A lot of the time you find that reoffending criminals are stuck in a rut. So say if they have a drug addiction, they will go out, break into someone's house and steal different things to sell and then buy more drugs. So then you realise that that's a pattern that they have, and what we try to do is once we find out the pattern of why they're committing crimes, is we like to get involved and cut it off at the point where they're in prison so they don't reoffend and can improve their life standard. Planning provisional to change offenders' behaviour. So, for example, like sex offender treatment. So we like to do is educate our prisoners on why they've put in prison and why it's wrong to do so. Because sometimes some people don't realise that it's as much of an offence when they're doing it, especially with like sexual offences. With like different people say if they have a mental illness or some kind, and they don't realise they're doing it, or if they just haven't been educated properly. We like to offer different services and how to re-educate them in a way that not a normal person would function. We also do the anger management classes, like I've previously mentioned. We offer them. A lot of them. There's one that we use that's called Calm, which is a very effective at teaching inmates with anger problems how to cope with them in a manageable way. Obstacles to change offenders' behaviour. So say if they have a like I said with drugs, they've got this one example there of obstacle that changes the offender's behaviour. Another might be an abusive family member, and what we can do is give them classes or give them like psychological treatment and help them come to terms with what happened with them and why they're so angry about it, or any problems they are having with it. The next thing, so that sort of covers up how we deal with different the different behaviours in addressing when they're in custody, and how we try and better our prisoners whilst they're in prison. Now I'm going to explaining how our offenders are prepared and rehabilitated for release. Resettlement with support for drugs and alcohol use. What we can do is resettlement. We can take them to different parts of the country where they don't know anyone of their previous lives, so they can have a fresh start. So say if someone was suffering from horrible, crippling drug or alcohol dependencies, we can help them by getting them off the drugs. It's nearly impossible to get any drugs in our prison, so what we like to do is stop the amount of drugs that are let in, so they can't take any, so then they have to take them off the addiction. And as we lower the drug and alcohol addiction, we then are able to cut it off so they can keep their addiction. And resettlement means that we can move them away from what their previous life was like, so they don't go back to what they've just given up. The next one is financial exclusion, where we offer different services to help them find a job and make money and afford a house, but we also give them some financial benefits, obviously, because you can't just throw someone out and expect them to do alright with no help at all. for someone who's not got anywhere to go, it's almost impossible. So we offer loads of different accommodations. We tend to avoid like youth hostels and stuff because they can find it's quite common for people to find drugs and people who like-minded like themselves who are staying in hostels. We also like to try and change their individual lifestyles to make them, say if someone was going out, taking drugs and coming back and just doing rinse and going out, stealing, selling it off and buying drugs with that money, I'd like to change their complete lifestyle to something more healthy and generally maybe more fitness involved. So if someone was quite overweight before they came to prison, we offer loads of different clubs and different rehabilitational facilities like using a gym, playing football, and basically improving their healthy lifestyle. Separation from families. If someone's family has just had such a horrible, abusive family life, what we can do is we can offer a separation from family where we move them, the same as the resettlement. We can move them to different parts of the country and give them a new life, basically. Risk of domestic violence and abuse. What we like to do with that is we like to offer, obviously we want to make sure that the general public is safe when we move them out. So what we can do is if the family don't want them there, we can find them somewhere else to go. However, if the family do want them back, we can make sure with the rehabilitation officer that they do get in contact with, stay in contact, and that we can observe them for quite a long time and make sure that they don't fall back into old habits. What we like to do is also prepare our inmates for outside life, not just letting them go on their last day and hoping they do alright. We like to offer different classes and to prepare them for working life and everyday life. So we offer we can completely educate them by offering them how to do taxes, how to find a job, how to write a CV, how to maintain physical health, and just keep up the good work, their physical life, so that they're prepared for the outside world. Security implications and license requirements. What we like to do is make sure that they are fully security clear, so that they've served out all their sentences, there's no more left out, and that if they are required to get them a new identification if needed, generally most of the time it's not always needed, so we can get that. We like to monitor the progress, like I said, with the rehabilitation officer, get that done. And maintaining documents and records. What we like to do is make sure that we keep all records of past criminals safe and locked up, so that if they do reoffend, we will have records of what they were in for, and so that it's never lost. We always keep a backup of it. And so that's the sum up of my presentation for my prison. Thank you very much for watching.